Dumoulin takes a look. Deflected, scores! Letang! Could you script it any better than this?
Pitch it to Najee Harris. Harris sidesteps, gets to the sideline. Najee Harris dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Steelers!
I don't think I expected anything less.
That's unbelievable. It is absolutely incredible.
Thanks for watching us on Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook. I think we're holding steady at 7,522 followers, so we appreciate all that. This old guy has done something, right? I remember when we first started. I'm only reminiscing a little. We got a special show here. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Nick, what's the latest on YouTube?
339.
Yeah,
I think so.
All right, 339, so thanks to all of you there. Technology, it feels like my first show almost. Just wanted to share that we're at, what, 903 shows right now?
Yeah, this is 903, yep.
And we're heading for 1,000 shows on Pittsburgh Sportsline. We got a special anniversary. Founded the show October 11th, 2011, and a little BPTV studio where the police station's at. It was in a little closet.
I was going to say, we were in a closet.
And Dave Cable ran all those shows out of there. He was worried that I couldn't do a live show every week. And I said, people like working with me. I thank every one of them. I forget half of the names, and I still have some here. Smokin' Jim's an original. Chip Hayner came in on the third show. We had different co-hosts because we had a guy, we won't mention his name, who brought me and Smokin' Jim together, and Chip. And he only lasted for, I don't know, about a year. Then we moved on from that. And we started our Facebook page in 2013, I think it was. And we started ever since getting followers. And we got to celebrate. I'm not sure where I can lift or put this up. Should I just hold it for the camera here? We can see it. I gotta watch.
Don't lose the cake.
It's stuck on there.
I wouldn't count on it too much.
Happy 13th
Gravity's
anniversary.
All right,
Black and
gold, black and gold.
Black and gold, and whoa. Oh, not chocolate. Then, whoa, one of our new camera people has a helium balloon. Look at this. And then look how special I am. I got people that help me. She's on camera. Linda Kroll came in to join us all the way from California, even though she's a Bethel Park Blackhawk alumni. We won't mention what year. And look what she made. It's supposed to fly.
Woo!
Whoa.
Little volleyball is getting popular.
There we go.
Penn
We got
volleyball.
nepotism here. I hit it.
Cousin hit it.
Cousin got it. And we have this from Smokin' Jim.
Yes.
Oh, we got to cut this
Is
cake.
the cake from the Bethel Bakery?
Not today.
Giant Market District?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait. I got special plates.
All right.
All right, we'll get this. Sorry, it's live TV, but I'm doing the best I can. All right, let me put that icing. We all love our icing. Butter,
sure
cream.
We sure do.
And Linda said not to put it on our teeth. And I have forks.
Thank you, sir.
over the years, for some reason, you know, you have a junk
Look at that
drawer.
black fork.
Well, sure.
I got a spork.
Thanks, machine.
Oh, you're welcome. Hey, I couldn't do all these shows to everybody that's helped me. I mean, I'd be talking to myself like I normally do, but I'm happy to come in every Tuesday night, and this is amazing, for 13 years now. And there you go.
All right, Chipper.
All right, Nick, can I cut you a piece now? And
No, I'll pass for now.
all right, we'll give a piece to Linda.
Yay, Linda said no.
Oh, well, Linda don't want it. Just set it to the side. Vinny, do you want a piece?
You know Vinny wants some. Vinny and Brad want some.
Is Brad there still?
Yeah, Brad's back there.
All righty.
No, Linda, take it.
There's forks here. Give her a fork. Fork her.
We've graduated. We've graduated to utensils.
Yes, I brought them. We've been collecting them from years. Get that to Vinny and Brad in the control room. We'll have him coming up.
I changed my mind. I'm going to eat this.
All right. All right.
All right. Well, this can be Vinny and Brad. We'll try to do this, folks. Thanks for... Whoa. I'm so honored. Whoa. It just fell there perfectly.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I always say I'd rather be the lucky team. And tell
Oh,
Brad...
Johnny's back there too. We gotta get Johnny.
Johnny never eats here, so I don't even offer him
we're
food.
good. Everybody got
We're
one?
good? All right, well, I got to get a corner. And then I'm going to do something unusual. This corner is for Dave Cable and his family.
Wow.
And I got special Christmas plates that were in the studio. So I go, why can't I give him that for his family
Yeah.
and slap that icing on there?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
How about Drew?
I'm going to try to save a piece for Drew.
Okay.
I got to get one for me, because you know what Roberto said.
Clemente?
Yeah,
For me?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, I made it. All right, we got that. I think, oh, look at that.
Look at that. That's good. That's some good stuff.
Hey, I even brought
Your
napkins
tongue
from
is
home.
black. Your tongue is black.
Everything for the TV. Give Linda
more.
a napkin.
A few more napkins, machine.
So you're saying he should have white icing?
Here. He needs help.
He needs a beach
That's
towel.
why he's my best friend there. I saved a piece for
Look like black. you
Big
are.
Drew. Here, I'll go some yellow smoking.
to honor the Halloween season.
Hey, we have a lot of sports to talk about, and we're only going to reminisce a lot about our shows and all that, and it's just been fun. And we never let the facts get in the way of our opinions, and I'll just emphasize that when we talk other sports in Pittsburgh a little bit later. But please check out our promos right now, and we'll be back after them. And we got Vinny in the control room with some helpers and observers. So we'll see what happens next. 10 seconds promos. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Strikers. I worked there for 36 years. My former union, CWA PPMWS 14842, Pittsburgh Local Mailers Union number 22, is on strike. Even though health care benefits were secured for workers by the union, Post-Gazette management cut them out without the union's approval and still expected workers to show up without any coverage. Please cancel your Post-Gazette subscriptions online or in print. Pittsburgh Sportsline supports the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Union Strikers. Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria in the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com. Hey, thank you for watching the promos. Wow, the voice is echoing here.
Yeah.
It sounds great. Very powerful. We appreciate you. This cake has been, one more bite, please. Magnifique. Oh, what are we here for? Great anniversary. Thanks for all the help. Look at the help I got here tonight. Thanks, everybody. I won't mention any names because some people don't want any notoriety or publicity. We'll figure that out later. I can talk now. What's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. I tell you what, man, 13 years, Al Levine, the talking machine. You didn't think I'd be here past 13 days.
No. Let me clarify it. About 3 years ago, we had what's called a 10th anniversary. And he goes, "Hey, Machine, how long did you think I'd be here?" I said, "Meeting you in Dormont at that guy's place. I'm glad we clicked and became friends. I figured you'd be gone after Christmas." And we're going to celebrate our 13th Christmas. I only know him about a month before we started our show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we just started talking. And to all you that want to know, I don't know him for 30 years. He's only 35 for all your sweeties. So I didn't know he's my BFF. And I got to share this. You know, I know thousands on Facebook and thousands, not bragging, elsewhere. I know everybody's job except for my BFF in the studio. I don't know what he does for a living. All I know is if you need a 1 or 10 ones or 100 ones, he has ones. I don't know what it means. I did know we can't talk about that on air. But that's why he's my best friend, and he's still hanging in there watching me eat.
But I'm honored. Friday, I can't wait. Friday, we get a chance to celebrate Marco's senior night in the band for Bethel Park. And we get to watch the undefeated football team play on Friday night, Al Levine, the talking machine. Is that right?
No.
What happened? They lost? Who beat them?
Upper St. Clair.
Oh, the rivalry. They never beat Upper St. Clair, but it's a rivalry. Upper St. Clair is 50-0. Al Levine, who they play this Friday? We're going to see.
South Fayette.
They play South Fayette.
Your people out there.
That should be 2 losses in a row.
Your people.
But hey, we're going to celebrate. No replays on the scoreboard, though, huh?
We heard rumors to that. We
gotta
can't
raise some
confirm
money
it.
for that. But Al Levine, the talking machine, my favorite quarterback of all time. Listen, let me say this first.
Go ahead.
I got to agree with Nicholas Harry Callis, the VIP of BPTV, when he says we got a quarterback in Justin Fields. I've been impressed with Justin Fields. I think he's the future. But my favorite quarterback of all time, Brett Favre, says any quarterback in the NFL can throw a football and hit the door. The good ones can hit the doorknob. The great ones can throw it through the keyhole. Al Levine, the talking machine. Russell Wilson used to be able to throw that football through the keyhole. And right now, for one season, we got a Hall of Fame quarterback that's passed for 43,000 yards and over 300 touchdowns. I would like to see as early as this week Russell Wilson in this offense with the weapons that we got, and I hope we get to see it. No offense to Justin Fields, who's our future, but I think for this season, I would like to see the Hall of Fame quarterback get in there and let's see what he can do, see if he can still throw it through the keyhole. And that's what's on my mind.
Well, Smokin' Jim, you're a great NFL scout, supposedly Steeler ex-scout.
Brett Favre, my favorite quarterback.
Well, that makes sense. He could throw. But Justin Fields in Chicago was not known for his passing ability. And we just saw it in the last game that guys were wide open. And he only missed them by 3 to 10 yards. So if your keyhole is as big as a garage door, you may be right. No disclaimer, just a question and an opinion. And we're going to carry on. Thanks, Smokin' Jim. You can enjoy eating. No pizza tonight. We're watching our figure. He's down to a 6.1x, so he's going to stay there. Chip, you notice I paused.
He just bought a bigger shirt.
Yeah. Hey, and then, you know, we always have these first on Pittsburgh Sportsline, and the first thing I have is Nick witnessed it the first time in 13 years, and I mean it, 13 long years. Chip and Smokin' Jim walked in the back entrance together.
Ain't nothing like white batter.
Yes, and that was a first. I salute you guys.
That's what he used to tell me when I used to come to step up to the plate.
Whoa. When he didn't throw like Vita Blue. No, sorry, we'd like to have a little fun. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind now that he gave his little Yahoo
Now that
with
he
the
gave
cake?
us, it's great to be back, everybody. 13 years, it seems like 13 minutes.
It does. It really
I can
does.
remember how nervous I was first episode that I did. I kept on banging my wedding ring off the table, and they told me, Chip, you got to stop that dog. Settle down. And I finally did. And the next time I got so nervous was the first time Alan and I had to do a show alone. And we did a 60-minute show without 2 seconds of dead air.
Wow.
Of course, nobody could get it a word in edgewise. Alan is known as the talking machine, but I will tell you, I'm not far behind. So,
here's what I got a pretty good memory and I recall a lot of stuff. I think I beat him by 2.5 words because we interrupted each other a bunch of times.
Yeah, but it was just one of the good memories that we have. I also think back to when we used to do the show up at Sips.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite interviews that we ever did up there was with Jim O'Brien.
Yeah.
And
that's one of my best.
And him and Grant Jackson.
I was going to say the second one.
I could not. Grant and I went over after the show was over, sat at the bar and talked for like an hour. And talking about old time baseball, old school baseball. Loved every minute of it.
And may he rest in peace. He was a great guy.
He was a great
plus
guy.
a great baseball
He
player
passed
too.
away?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
COVID got him.
Smoking Jim, you'll live forever because you're getting younger, and you're actually getting thinner. Because I saw a picture. I hate to bring it up. I try not to pick on him. But Barry Bonds came into the league. He doesn't know baseball. He was 176 pounds, and his head looked sort of like a peanut. Then I noticed he's hitting home runs when nobody hits home runs, and he put clear on himself, and his head got like a basketball. My son Drew loves Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. So he went to see him recently, and I go, how was his head size? He go, Dad, he looked normal. So Smoking Jim showed a picture with one of his sweeties. She was a bigger girl, and his head was bigger than her head. And he just posted a picture, I think it was from Cal U or whatever they call it now. And he had a 12.5-inch neck. He had a mohawk. He had number 22 in red and white. And he had shoulder pads that I wore as a center.
And we still don't know what year.
Yeah. And Chip beat me to it what year. So this is the type of football logic you have. In his younger pictures, he looked like Urkel. All of you can Google that. And he was fast because he was always being chased by his dad. And I found that secret out, not meeting his brothers or sisters or whatever else, but I've heard it through the grapevine.
Oh, yeah.
He had mohawk.
So
Great picture.
So getting on to what's on my mind.
Yeah.
For once, I happen to agree with Smoking Jim.
Uh-oh.
The Steelers should do with their starting quarterback. And I haven't watched every minute of every game this year, but I've watched several games. And one thing I was noticing in Sunday's game, I felt the Steelers could have easily won that game by 3 touchdowns or more. And they lost some opportunities. But I think that Justin Fields has played well. I mean, obviously the Steelers are 4-2, so you got to give quarterback credit for guiding the team to that victory. But I don't think he has a complete mastery of the passing game, and I think that he doesn't see the whole field. I think he's too quick with his reads, doesn't let his routes develop. Now that could be because of the weakness of the pass blocking of the offensive line, and the offensive line is a work in progress. I mean, they got a lot of young guys playing, a lot of people hurt, But I just think that Russell Wilson, as a veteran quarterback, would have a better handle on being able to utilize the pass weapons that he has more. I think Justin Fields is more focused on trying to make a play. If it isn't there instantly, he's going to make it with his legs, which, hey, if it's succeeding, you do it. But I think to make the Steelers' offense better, they've got to start developing their passing attack. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to run. And you can't constantly have your quarterback rushing for 60, 70, 80 yards every game and expect him to make it through the season. And furthermore, the Steelers did not bring Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh to watch Justin Fields play quarterback. I do believe both quarterbacks are going to help the Steelers win games, but I do believe that the Steelers would benefit from letting Russ play. Just an opinion, not trying to badmouth or anybody, but I just think that if Russell Wilson's 100% healthy, they need to put him in there. I think it'll make the running game more effective, and I think it'll make the passing game more effective.
Everybody clap for that.
So
Smoking Jim,
Benny,
rarely,
you clapping back there?
rarely do we agree with Smoking Jim
and
having
you
a
know,
group thing.
everybody's entitled to their opinion. This is just my observations, and this is what I've seen out of Justin Fields, and I think Justin could actually learn a little bit more observing
Thank you.
the offense right now, and be a better quarterback down the road. So we'll see what happens, because I'm not the head coach. I don't make those decisions, and
Right.
we'll see who starts on Sunday night. Next up, if people have not been paying attention to the Major League Baseball playoffs, you are really and truly missing a gem. From the wild card games to the National League
It's been exciting
and
this
American
year.
League Division Series, the games have been just off the hook. Now, even going into the championship series, the Dodgers and the Mets are tied up 1-1. The Yankees.
Who would think that would be possible?
Well, have you've been watching the Mets this year?
Yeah.
From the
All-Star.
All-Star game on, they were one of the hottest teams in baseball. The other one was the Detroit Tigers, who made the playoffs. Who I was really pulling to see them.
I would have loved that.
Make it a little further, but unfortunately, Game 5, their stud gave up a grand slam that was a difference in the game.
Yeah.
So, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But the Indians and the Yankees playing again tonight. And actually, after last night and tonight, 2 games in the ALCS in New York City. Next 3 nights, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the Mets are playing. New York is the place to be for Major League Baseball right now. And, we'll see what happens. I mean, I know my young friend Nicholas over here is a big Yankee fan, and he's pulling for the Yankees. I'm kind of pulling for the Indians. I want to see the team that hasn't won a World Series since
That's no
1948.
surprise, right? Nick?
Oh, not the Indians, the Guardians.
Yeah.
1948 was the last year that the Cleveland baseball team won the World Series.
Well, we can say Indians. It's just not politically correct.
Well,
Did
I
you say Redskins?
Yeah.
we're not playing them this week. So
Yeah.
So-
He's talking about current teams,
so-
Smoking Jim, and what they were called. We don't know what
last
you're
but
even
not
thinking.
least, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Looked like they stumbled a little bit right out the gate. And the question that I have is, why are we not criticizing the Pittsburgh Penguins for not having won
You've
a
been
playoff
asking
series?
this for over a year.
Wait, why they haven't won a playoff series in 7 years?
We do criticize them.
Okay,
They're going the opposite direction of the Steelers. They're now missing
right.
the playoffs.
But does anybody refer
Yes.
to the Penguins head coach as mediocre Mike?
no, they reserve that.
Well, no, we don't criticize the coach. We don't criticize the general manager. But
No,
I
we,
just
we call them Sully, so they don't know what was
okay.
Sully.
These are just some things that I hear.
Sullivan's not held up on a pedestal. He gets the same criticism. They haven't won in a while, and he is way over the average amount of time a head coach spends. with a hockey team.
Especially in
4.3
hockey.
years is their
Hockey,
expiration
they
date.
change coaches the way we change shirts.
Every 4.3 years they last, average-wise.
I don't-
We're beyond that.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
But anyhow, those are some of the things that's on my mind. Take it away.
All right, we'll take it away. Thanks, Chip. We appreciate your insights. I agree with some of them on the baseball there, and with the football, Justin Fields is doing what people in Chicago who watched him play told me, that you got to watch how he throws a ball. So we'll leave it at that. And I've said on air many times, what?
What are you doing?
Yeah, just don't even ask.
You're wrapping your dirty plate in a napkin.
Don't even ask. No, that's an anniversary first.
What, you gonna put that in a museum one day?
Yes,
the
he is.
BPTV museum.
It's going into food museums.
Here, I'll give you. You can have another fork. Chip, give him another fork. Just
Oh,
to
he's
set
getting a
on
fork.
there.
I got a sport.
I know. It snuck in there. There. Now we'll move on. All right. Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
R.I.P. to that piece of cake. Happy Halloween with the shroud and the napkin on the plate.
I like the shroud reference.
Sportsline's a great show, and people,
Thank you.
Al Levine, one of the people that was kind enough to let me participate in these activities, and it's ended up becoming a legitimate career for me. And I mean that literally because I work here now, and I did not work here when I started here.
Yes.
So for that, I am grateful, and I would be the second now because Big Mike's here
Yeah.
every other week. That would make me the second shortest tenured host, which means I'm not the youngest anymore. So I've been here the second shortest among panelists that are active. So go me. That's awesome.
We salute you.
Appreciate it. So
Thank you, Nick.
no, for real though. I mean, I feel like I don't always reflect on this publicly, but this place, just BPTV, Sportsline in particular, has done a lot of good things for me. And just showing up here every day and having to find something to talk about every week has helped me tremendously in other portions of my career and other jobs that I have. And for that, I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you two, and I thank Big Mike and Michael Mariano and Marco and Vinny and Chance and Brad now, I guess, because Brad's back there.
Yeah,
So,
Brad's here. He come up 2 weeks in a row.
Everybody that's been a part
And
of
they
this.
make us look good.
Let me reminisce just for a short period of time.
Go ahead.
It's an important thing. You were here a while, I forget how long, and Smoking Jim's been in accidents, had surgeries, been hospitalized. We really don't know what, but he did have a quadruple bypass. But he missed the show and wasn't going to be here, and I go to Nick. Now, Lanny Fratteri was his great professor. Shout out to Lanny for teaching him to always ask questions. And he would ask me if that bothers me, and I go, no, you keep asking questions. I got answers. So we got along fine there. So I asked him one serious question. I go, Nick, it wasn't a question, it was a statement. I want you to replace Smoking Jim tonight. Can you do it? First thing he says, what am I going to talk about? That was his state of mind with doing the studio work.
I thought you were going to say the first question you asked him was, what's on your mind?
That was the second one.
Appropriate.
Yeah, Chip, that was great. So then I go, because I listen to people when they talk to me, even though a few people don't, on the other side there. But I go, Lanny taught you all about sports broadcasting and everything else, and you've announced all these games. So I think, and you played sports, so I think you can announce and come up with some ideas. And you're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, we're going to be on air in a couple minutes, so just sit in there and try to wing it.
I got a shout out to some of the volunteer staff that were there because they pushed me into the seat pretty much like, no, Nick, you can do it. Go.
They all said it.
And I mean, it is hard to believe now, and that story gets better every year now that I kind of just move forward because, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do anything unless I had, like, abundance of prep work done. And, this just taught me also how to just sit down and talk. So, and that's something that I also appreciate. That's a skill that I think I've picked up on pretty well. So, or maybe not. Some of you don't think so. That's okay.
Hold it, wait. Let me pump up a little smoke. We're in a smoke-free zone. But he didn't understand sarcasm, and I said, you'll learn. And he even caught me a few times on sarcastic comments. So I'm glad I could teach him a little. And sometimes the pupil becomes smarter than the teacher. I salute you with that. And the crew that helped you with Dan and A2 and A1 and Ryan, they were all unanimous. You can do it, Nick. And, he shook his head.
And when he used to MC for me, I didn't always get him the bios one time.
Nick, to speak to your nervousness when you first did it, I got a call in the middle of the afternoon and said, from my wife, and she's like, so-and-so is going to call you. He's got a question to ask you. And he said, we need somebody to fill a chair for a sports talk show. Are you doing anything tonight? And I was out working, and I was like, yeah, sure. Where do I got to be? What time? I had no idea. I had no prep work done. I completely flew by the seat of my pants.
That's how the Levine legend starts and continues. I like to fly by the seat of my pants in case nobody noticed this. We don't script any of this. Here's what's written here, front and back, and the pen's in my pocket.
Maybe Smokin' was hiding something he wrote on the plate, actually.
Well,
expose us.
That's part of it.
No,
and that's where Nick has learned that we fly by the seat of our pants, but we base it on what we're observing and what we're trying to talk about.
No, and it's great. And so I'm going to be here at PPTV 4 years next month, which is nuts to think about too. So just
Congrats.
So we move forward with VIP time, and Sportsline is great. Don't forget. And it's always nice to reminisce every year. 15's coming up too, I guess, isn't it? 2 years?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Long-lasting show. That's what's on my mind. Sports for VIP time. Yes.
Nice job, Nick.
I salute you. Thank you so much.
We're proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm honored and blessed to be doing this and able to
There's
talk.
nobody I would rather argue with.
Hold it. Let me do what I coined. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Okay, we can move on. I forgot what I was going to talk about. It's such a great day. One more scoop. I don't eat many sweets. You wouldn't know it. I try to stay in shape at this advanced age of 68. I tell people my age, unlike smoking Jim, because time takes its toll on you. I've never been this old before. But I still watch sports. I come from a sports family. I love it. The Steelers have been tough to watch since Big Ben. We knew he needed to retire. Then he got hurt and he came back. And we've had offensive linemen that, me being an offensive lineman, I got to go, down goes Frazier. We lost Frazier. We've lost other guys. We've had guys playing tackle, guard, center, and that's in one game. So we have a lot of movement there, and somehow we put a game together, and we won very well doing many different things. And everybody, I hear people telling me Najee's a bust his first year, second year, third year. This season, first few games, they go, Najee's a bust. And Chip brings up about you got to watch the players play. So I've always said Najee's out there running his best, but he's a north-south guy. And when you have guys in the backfield, like 4 of them, when you get the handoff, where do you go? Then I've had other men and women go, Najee was terrible. And I go, he doesn't call the plays. He just does the plays. And he can't help it when 4 defensive linemen are 2 yards deep, the linemen are standing there, and he can't run through the hole that's between the center and the guard. Because guess what? There's people there. So he loses yards, or on TV they go, wow, Najee was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So there's this one play, Nick showed me, it's going to be in our highlights, and it was this last game. Najee gets the ball, and they have him going off the tackle a little bit. And I've watched, even though Smoking Jim says,
All-Pro Dan Moore.
yeah, I can't even mention his name. I led that. Well, open door Moore's there, and I see him miss a block. I see him in front of a guy trying to come in, and I see another guy coming out towards where other guys are blocking. Najee ran in for what was it, 22 yards. He went down the sideline, and there's a guy that they say he's a bust. He went from the 5-yard line like Dr. J.
Yes, sir.
With a football, he switched hands. You could watch on the replay. He switched hands, his right hand, his strong hand. Smoking Jim has it. But ladies say he has the softest hands. So he put his hard hand out there. He hit the goal line right at the pylon. And there's a guy that's a bust that gave 110% on one play.
Yes, sir.
One thing I will say about Najee, he does not go down when the first guy hits him. I mean, he runs hard. He may not be getting a lot of yardage.
240 pounds.
I mean, he's out there fighting people. I mean, he is not easy to take down. I really wouldn't look forward to trying to tackle him.
No, and you can see some of those guys take the heat. And do you notice that they're always chirping at him after a tackle? And he's always in their faces. So to me, that's a guy I want on my team. Sad to say he's going to be on a great team with a great offensive line. And when he gets about 70 to 90 passes and gets 1,500 yards rushing, you'll remember you heard it here. All right, we got to go to Fiction and Fact with Smoking Jim's Almanac.
thanks, Vinny, Johnny, and Brad in the control room. Appreciate you guys. Hey, El Levine, the Talking Machine. 48 years ago, almost to the day, we had a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers when Bradshaw went down that went 6-0. But when Bradshaw got healthy, they put Bradshaw back in there. Mike Kruchek. That's why they should put.
I
Russell
met
Wilson
him.
in there.
I met Kruchek in a bar called the Saloon in Greentree on Noblestown Road.
Really?
Yeah, they go.
He used to live about a block from there.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was at the Saloon. I'm with a bunch of friends because I lived back then right in Greentree.
Yeah.
And they go, Al, you got to meet this guy. He's our quarterback.
Did you meet Cliff Stout too?
Yeah, I met both of them.
Yeah, those 6 games that the Steelers won with Kruchek as a quarterback. The defense had 3 consecutive shutouts.
Oh yeah.
That was after Turkey Jones spiked
sure enough.
Bradshaw
I
at the
remember that.
Municipal Stadium. Foul drived him.
My thing is, me and El Levine, the Talking Machine, we had just such great chemistry because he's so quick. And when we started doing boxing together, man, it was like we was doing it all our lives. And recently came across my timeline was when we did the Ironman fight.
And Jason Bergman.
Jason Bergman is fighting this undefeated fighter that's getting ready to get a heavyweight championship of the world. Buster Douglas is his trainer, is in his corner. He got his whole family come in from
The
Houston.
champion that shocked the world with Mike Tyson.
And Bergman caught him with a left hook and knocked him out. And I'm like, El Levine, the Talking Machine, how is Ron Salka going to top this? By getting a knockout, too. And you had to hear it. It was like perfect chemistry on the whole thing, man. But, hey, shout out to El Levine, the Talking Machine, winner of 48 media awards. Congratulations going into your 14th year.
Thank you very much, Smoking Jim. Appreciate it. And a shout out goes to Aaron Ward, one of the best at BPTV, camera people, volunteers.
That's my business partner.
Yeah, well, we know that. Everybody that's been here has been a business partner with them, including one of the latest, Nicholas VIP Callis. He did business with them.
6 months.
Then
He taught me how to get the bios to him early.
yeah, well then
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
then I taught him.
I taught you how to recognize that was a mistake.
Then I had to teach Nick to always count your fingers after shaking hands with some of the people in business. And he had put up your hands. He got 10 fingers.
We're good.
So he learned very well. But thank you, Smoking Jim, and shout out to Aaron Ward for what she did, and what a night that was. It was a great night. All right, we got to go to Chip Hayner and trivia time in 10 seconds.
Respect.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
All right, now trivia time for this week. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I want to make sure that Alan gets his time, Nick gets his time.
Thank you.
But, much to Nick's chagrin, yes, I would like to see the Cleveland baseball team, make an attempt to win the World Series. Last time they tried, they lost to the Cubs, and the Cubs had not won a World Series since 1908.
Wow. Yeah.
So now
How can you be a Pittsburgh fan and want Cleveland to advance? I'm just saying.
Ding, ding.
you know what?
Round two.
Because I root for the underdog.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
there you
Yes,
go.
sir.
You know the secret sauce now.
So back in 1948, the Cleveland baseball team, okay, we're going to be politically correct, won the World Series. They actually tied for the season with, I forget, but they tied. They played a one-game playoff, which took them to the World Series.
Oh, wow.
Because basically to make it to the World Series back in those days, there was the American League, there was a National League.
Mm-hmm.
If you won the American League, you went straight to the World Series. There were no
Right.
playoffs. So
It was simple back then, Smoking.
it was simple. So the
You weren't born yet, but
Cleveland baseball team played the Boston Braves, okay? And the Boston Braves won the first game of the series. Cleveland won the next three. Boston won Game 5. And Cleveland won Game 6 to win the series. Of note in that series were the Hall of Famers that played in that game. For the Cleveland team, Lou Bordeaux, who
Ooh,
finished
there's a
the
name
season
from
with a 355 average,
Wow.
who was a player manager. Larry Doby. And the significance
guy.
of Larry Doby was he was the first African-American player to play in the American League.
Black.
Jackie Robinson was the first to play in the National League. Bob Feller, Bullet Bob Feller,
Oh.
pitcher for the
What a
Cleveland
pitcher.
team. Joe Gordon, Bob Lemon, and if you know anything about the history of baseball, Bob Lemon was a former Yankees manager. And none other than one of the all-time great Satchel Paige.
Oh.
He was a
Really?
relief pitcher for the Cleveland baseball
I
team
didn't
that
know
year.
that.
At about
He was-
65 years old.
He was 41 years old. According to the records back then,
He was older.
He was 41. For the Boston Braves, Billy Southworth, their manager, was a Hall of Famer, and none less than one of the greatest left-handers to ever pitch in baseball. I'd say probably put him number one, maybe Sandy Koufax number two, was Warren Spahn.
Yeah.
He
Spawn insane and pray for rain.
Yeah, 3 days. Spawn insane and 2 days of rain.
Right.
Is what they used to say. But
I remember that as a kid.
so why is a Pittsburgh fan rooting for a Cleveland team?
So we all want to know.
Yeah.
Simply
We've been waiting
because
with bated breath.
I
here.
am rooting for the underdog.
All right. I
Whoa.
like it. I like it.
They're the team that spent the least amount of money to get to where they're at.
The Yankees haven't been to a World Series since '09. That's terrible.
The longest streak that they haven't done so.
There you go.
But yeah,
It's the
and-
longest
for that.
streak for the
and
Yankee
you know what,
fans.
Nicholas? I just am not a very big fan of buying a championship.
Well, you like Josh Naylor and his "I'm going to rock the pitcher to sleep because I hit a home run." You like that? You like that?
no.
Yeah.
To be
no,
honest
no.
with
You know
you-
what? How about this? That's redeeming. Chip likes that style of attitude in the game of baseball
No,
today.
I do not. No, I do not. I do not like the hot dogging.
But he plays for Cleveland, so there you go.
Ah.
Root for the hot dogs. We'll call them the Cleveland hot
Ding,
dogs.
ding, round
Underdog.
3.
Underdog. There's no need to fear. Underdog,
Underdog
is
is
here.
here.
One of my favorite cartoons. All right, we got to move on. Thanks, Chip. We appreciate your baseball talk. When baseball is booming right now in the postseason, it has truly been one of the better ones that I've seen in years. So it's great. We're going to Nick VIP time. 10 seconds.
Okay, so here we go, Yankees. Hooray. Here's the 28 coming up here. In a
Oh,
week.
no.
Now, here's actually an interesting thing real quick while we're talking about the playoffs and the World Series. I caught off of work from here and the Fan from the week of November 4th to the 11th. Just taking that week off because I haven't had a vacation ever. So this may be an opportunity if the playoffs do get extended. Perhaps they'll play the World Series at the beginning of November, and I could go catch a game in New York and spend all of my savings on a ticket. Maybe.
Wow.
I think that'd be pretty cool, though. So I hope that
I hope it happens
I hope
for
that
you.
lines up. So that being said, let's talk about the quarterback situation because Mike Tomlin never said. He said they will give Russell Wilson a chance to get reps with the ones. But then NFL Network reported that he's starting. So what do we know? Like, what does this mean? I mean, NFL Network knows stuff. So what do I think about it all?
Yeah.
You went 4-2, and Justin Fields, I'll say, the reason why the Steelers lost was not because Justin Fields is a bad quarterback. When you saw Mitch Trubisky play in previous seasons, right, in these last few seasons, they were losing because he's not really was not a serviceable quarterback. Kenny Pickett was really good at making like fourth quarter comebacks, so I'm not going to say that Kenny Pickett was the reason why they lost because when he was in, they were winning. He just didn't really do it comfortably. And so I'm watching Justin Fields play now, and I don't think that they've schemed the offense to fit how he plays. But you notice that when they need to score, like the Steelers will be real conservative early on, and then the score is 15-7 at the half, I think, or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden now they start pulling out all the stops. Like Justin Fields is running. Najee Harris is complimenting Jalen Warren and carrying defenders, places. And you have more of a flavorful offense and more of a modern offense than you played with before. And I feel like the mentality there really shouldn't change. Like, the Steelers have been playing catch-up now for a long time. It has been the opposite. Like, I think when Ben was around, it used to be that they would, like, have a lead, and then they would give up the lead, and then the game would be close at the end of the games because they would be giving up points in the third and fourth quarters. Why can't they just win comfortably ever? I don't know.
You haven't seen it in your
You know what I
lifetime.
mean? Like why can't they just like Bethel Park over the last few weeks, other than Upper St. Clair, right? I mean, other than them and Moon, like Bethel Park would just like score 28 in the first quarter, and then I'd be like, all right, this is comfortable. Like, why can't the Steelers do that? Kidding aside there, but like, there's got to be like at least 3 games that I can see, 3 or a little more than 3 games that I can see where they can win comfortably and like sustain a lead in a healthy manner. Well, the way they're playing, it's not really that healthy, and I don't think that mixing the quarterback situation up in this particular moment is going to help them become a more healthy offense. At this point, I'm curious to see what Russell Wilson can do, and if he plays this weekend, sure, okay, let's see, but I'm going to be real frustrated if they make a switch and Russell Wilson all of a sudden gets sacked because he can't move or his passing game isn't what we think it's going to be. You're going into week 7. Like, at this point, if you didn't originally plan for them to both play, I think you're messing up something that is good. Like, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I don't think the quarterback play was broken. I think the way that they called offensive plays was broken. I think that the sweeps were sweeping every other play. That's a problem, right? But when Fields is running, he was doing well. I think that incorporating more of that and doing it in a more, in a way that has more variety, and I think it would work better for the offense. So I'm just saying, like, they're 4-2. They are pacing the division right now with the Baltimore Ravens. I just don't think that a change at a major position like that is really what the Steelers need right now. I could be wrong. I just really hope that Mike Tomlin is right if he decides to go with Wilson, because, I mean, you're tampering with something that I don't think necessarily needs to be tampered with right now. The end.
Interesting. Go ahead, Chip.
One thing I would just want to say about the Steelers, just thinking about this, you look at how dominant the Steelers defense was on Sunday when 3 of their top 4 outside linebackers were injured. Okay, and I think a bigger concern with the Steelers right now is their secondary. That I think is the weakest part of the Steelers defense. That is something that's got to change if the Steelers are going to be able to continue to hold teams down. Now, granted, the Las Vegas Raiders were a horrible, awful team, and they played terrible on Sunday. Okay, other than the first series when they marched right down the field. After that, they didn't. But the Steelers defense, I think, is going to keep them in the games. I disagree with Nick. I do think, the change in the quarterback, it seems to me to make sense. You don't wait until the ship's sinking to try to right it, because here's what. If Russell Wilson doesn't work out, Justin Fields, you put him right back in.
But to take your analogy, if I put a fridge on a boat, maybe my food's going to be cold, but also the fridge might put a hole in the structure of the boat one day. So that's kind of what you're doing there.
Not necessarily. I mean, are you completely comfortable with the Steelers' passing game? And the running game is about where you would want it to be. But I'm not satisfied with the quality of the passing game right now.
I don't think
something's going to change.
I don't think that Mike Tomlin knows how to help orchestrate a good passing attack.
He's never been. I mean, he's a defensive coach. Always has been.
Okay,
but he's got an offensive coordinator.
So let me
interrupt both of you on a couple conversations I've had with other sports people. They go, what if Art Smith and Tomlin know that Justin Fields is not a really good passer, and they limit what the plays that they're letting him do, and that's why they let him run a little more in the second half to win? What if that's the issue, that they know? And going back to Russell Wilson, they got him because he threw 26 touchdown passes with 8 interceptions in 14 games. You know, they had him out of the season. We'll go a minute or two past since we were a few minutes start.
All right.
So just letting you know there. But, yeah, I think that could be some of the reality we're dealing with. Because, again, why'd they bring Art Smith in if he's using basically a dumbed down, a little bit above Canada's offense? No puns intended, but it's a reality. So I had a couple of these good discussions, and I'm thinking, okay, they knew Justin Fields is limited, but he can run like the wind when it's needed. And I even said to them, I go, did you notice a couple times Justin Fields looks before he runs sometimes? And it's rare, but he would then run.
Well, what about when he threw a touchdown pass? He was already 2 yards over the line of scrimmage.
Well, we can't even get on that.
You can't have that
No,
happen.
the sense of the field. No, when Drew and I were watching the game, and Drew goes, yeah, he was a pass. I go, he was a yard and a half past, and there was no debate. But I just think some of it is the coaches are smarter than we give them credit for on some of this. And then the players, like Chip says, they got to perform. So if Russell Wilson, I thought, should have been in against the Raiders. That was my personal opinion. And Justin Fields did well, and so did the team. And look at the defense, they got 3 people blocking on T.J. Watt. I mean, it's unbelievable what they're doing, and they're still having success doing that.
He's a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And the way he punched that ball out twice,
Oh.
and how he stopped the Raiders at the 1 yard line. And, he doesn't have to get sacks, but just watching the way that he went after, and you watch the way he targeted that ball with that punch.
That was a punch.
I mean, dude, that was money.
No, it is. Go ahead, Nick.
No, I got nothing. TJ Watt's great. I still think, though, that a better passing attack would allow Justin Fields to flourish. Or maybe setting up a passing attack that's threatening enough that Justin Fields can run.
But what if it's not Justin Fields that can handle that?
I don't think it is.
That's
my
the
opinion.
dilemma.
That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
And
And we won't know.
Yeah, but what do you
I
base
think
it on?
We got like 30 seconds. But
All right.
I think Russ is probably a better pocket passer than Justin is, but time will tell.
But my man got hurt in non-contact practices twice.
We don't
So we
know.
got to watch out for that, too. He's injury prone. So we don't. What do we know?
Well, he's
I guess
36, yeah.
We're going to find out. So.
And the Yankees are up 1-0,
Yay!
top of the second inning.
Very good.
All right, I'm going to go with no on location. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and making Pittsburgh Sportsline as great as it is. All the help that we have, I appreciate all of you and all the past helpers and the future helpers. We're going to carry on. And please stay Joey strong.